Welcome to the exhibition Josh Kline Antibodies at Astrup Fearnley Museet. The exhibition is the first major museum exhibition in Scandinavia of the American artist Josh Kline, an artist whose thought-provoking artistic practice focuses on the technological, economic, and biological changes that are affecting human life in the 21st century. Kline is among the important young artistic voices that has emerged in the wake of the 2008 financial crisis, addressing the human condition in a society characterized by rapid technological development. The exhibition Antibodies addresses the precariousness of life and work in a predatory neoliberal society, where instability and crisis describes not only labor, but our very existence as a species. Kline's installations, sculptures, and videos are works of critical science fiction that speculate on the radical possibilities of the near future, the potential dystopian and utopian transformations of politics, economics, technology, and biology in the coming years and decades. Kline's fictional visions of the future are based on phenomena that are shaping today's reality, such as social and economic inequality, and the value and future of human work in an era of increasing automation. These transparent sculptures are titled Contagious Unemployment. Inside them are cardboard boxes holding the types of personal belongings that professional office workers often keep at their desks. Encapsulated in glowing plastic shells that take the form of common viruses such as influenza or the common cold, these sculptures evoke a disquieting feeling of discontinued work. The sculptures are part of Josh Kline's installation Unemployment, which explores the future of work. Technological transformation, like automation and artificial intelligence, are predicted to replace large numbers of today's jobs in the next few decades. The virus-shaped sculptures function as a metaphor for our fear of unemployment, that it is contagious and might spread. When Josh Kline made use of this metaphor in 2016, a global crisis of unemployment due to a virus was an almost unimaginable scenario. Today, when we find ourselves in the midst of a pandemic, the questions concerning labor in the 21st century and the escalating unemployment emerging from the radical transformation of society through digital technology have become even more relevant. What will happen to middle-class professional jobs, the people who perform them, and the societies in which they live, in a future where technological development and automation take over increasingly broad areas of today's work? The shopping cart sculptures are based on a common sight in cities across the world, where people are forced by economic circumstance to scavenge for recyclable plastic, glass, and metal in the city's trash. Kline's carts hold recycling bags filled with bottles and office supplies that are cast in skin-colored silicone rubber. This anthropomorphized garbage call out the future and the present, where human beings are treated as disposable capital. The sculptures of human bodies that are strewn across the gallery's floor were created using photographic 3D scanning and 3D printing. These works are portraits of real people who had recently been laid off from their traditional office jobs in common professions predicted to become obsolete in the near future. As a forewarning of an impending flood of middle-class unemployment, they have been staged in a bleak tableau, discarded like trash in transparent recycling bags. These works visualize the most dystopian scenario of a fully automated future, where great numbers of workers become redundant and are reduced to human waste. While unemployment looks at the human cost of technological change, the works from the installation Civil War speculate on the potential wider impact on society of this transformation, and the increasing social and material inequality it has brought into being. A post-apocalyptic landscape is imagined through rubble piles of ashen, iconic objects, familiar from middle-class suburban life. Toy trucks, garden equipment, car parts, and teddy bears, all stripped of color, life, and function. These sculptures visualize the possible ruins of a 21st century industrialized society, a battlefield where mutual destruction is the ultimate consequence of the precarious social and economic divisions that characterize our time. These sculptures were originally conceived of as part of a larger installation called Freedom from 2015. The Teletubbies are clad in militarized uniforms, commonly worn by law enforcement at political demonstrations in America. The sculptures were inspired by the artist's experiences and involvement in Occupy Wall Street, a movement protesting the increasing economic inequality of society. The work explores how widespread surveillance technology embedded in social media and smartphones affect political movements, political speech, and democracy itself in the 21st century. In the British children's television program Teletubbies, the main characters entertain themselves watching the daily lives of ordinary people on implanted screens in their stomachs. Screens embedded in Josh Kline's police Teletubbies display the video Privacy, which shows how social media can be manipulated and misused. In this video, the artist hired retired police officers as actors and asked them to recite scripts based on the social media feeds of activists he collaborated with on this project. Through the use of early face substitution software, the police officers' faces are digitally replaced by the activists' faces as they observe their words. The video draws attention to how post-truth technology and manipulation can alter our understanding of reality and our perception of truth. The Blue Collar series addresses the experiences of workers who trade their time and labor for hourly wages today. The series of works so far includes 4 different groups of workers: hotel cleaners, restaurant servers, FedEx delivery drivers, and salespeople at Walmart. Blue-collar workers is an American designation for people who carry out physical labor. In both the American context out of which these works originate and globally, this sector of the working population is identified as part of the precariat. This concept, a combination of precarious and proletariat, denotes workers without stable employment, a security net, or access to social benefits. In the videos in this series, the artist interviews the workers about their jobs, their lives, and their dreams. The conversations and the circumstances these individuals describe shed light on the structural social order and its effect on people. In the blue-collar sculptures, Kline has photographically 3D scanned the bodies of the workers and 3D printed their heads and hands and legs in full color. The detached body parts are arranged alongside tools and products on trolleys and serving trays, or in shopping carts and packing boxes, the containers that constitute the physical framework of the workers' labor. In the sculptures, a number of material distortions are executed, where the individual's human features are replaced by the surfaces of the tools they use or the goods they sell. In other versions, it is the objects that are given human exteriors, so they seem to be made of the same skin and flesh as the workers. The result is a complete fusion of person and product. These works visualize the physical subjugation of the work, the alienation of the worker, and the fragmentation of the working class. By portraying the precariat of the 21st century and exploring the socio-economic realities of this segment of the contemporary American labor force, Kline's Blue Collar series becomes part of the art historical tradition of representing human work. The individual works in this gallery are all from Kline's practice in the early 2010s, and they are collectively described by the artist as the creative labor or post-human works. Many of the sculptures focus on workers in creative professions, such as designers, artists, and DJs, and the way that they work. These works delineate a reality in which the division between work and leisure has disintegrated, and they raise the issue of the psychosomatic effects of working life when a person's job becomes an extension of the self. Actual bodies are nearly absent in these works, replaced in many cases by fluids, alchemical metaphors for the body. These liquids have been laced with substances designed to overcome physical limitations such as fatigue, illness, and pain. Beginning as an everyday pattern of stimulation and tranquilization, these body-optimizing mixtures take on more speculative forms, expanding across blurry borders between medicine, doping, and other ethical dividing lines. They illustrate the short path leading from optimistic self-improvement to bleak self-exploitation, when the body and mind are subject to grueling working conditions and demands for productivity. These works are part of Kline's exploration of contemporary labor and the vulnerabilities it is built upon, where various types of insecurity and exploitation encroach on our very bodies and minds. Across his artistic practice, Kline examines a neoliberal society where work has become both precarious and endless. In the final exhibition gallery, a layer of cardboard tiles made from Amazon Prime boxes covers the floor. After housing products on their way to consumers, these same cardboard boxes quickly end up at the opposite end of the capitalist life cycle as trash, and too often used as desperate shelter by people abandoned by free market societies. In this way, the theme of the installation unemployment, the impending danger of expulsion from a middle-class existence into poverty, also assumes a material form. In the video Universal Early Retirement, Kline explores a utopian vision of the future of society and work. The 3-minute-long video, based on real American political ads, takes us into the familiar world of advertising, where cheerful people describe what they would do if they were liberated from work as we know it today. Time to be creative, to think, explore, learn, grow, help, share, build, and heal. Time to be together. Time to live. Kline's campaign video for Time envisions an entirely different future for people's lives and work than the dystopian scenarios in the previous galleries. The video concludes with a tagline describing what has made such a transformation of society possible: universal basic income. It's about time. All over the world, precarious conditions stemming from mass layoffs and unemployment have made the debate about such an unconditional basic income acutely relevant. This work is a response to the bleak scenarios of redundant, valueless workers, a utopian vision of a future where unemployment is not a tragedy, but rather freedom from mental and physical drudgery. Universal Early Retirement concludes the exhibition by leaving the viewer with one last question. What possibilities might arise in a society where work is no longer a matter of necessity, but a pleasure?